kfi.com/mitigation.
Attention I-10 freeway drivers. Freeway and ramp closures are coming up for the I-10 Express Lanes project. Don't get stuck. For dates and detours, visit GoSBCTA.com. That's GoSBCTA.com for more information on the I-10 Express Lanes project.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win, no matter whose idea that is. KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It is a Tuesday morning, October 5th, as we continue on with Handle on the News, Jennifer, Wayne, and me. Johnson & Johnson have asked the FDA to approve a booster shot of their vaccine. Yeah, that's good. Because there's plenty of people that have gotten Johnson & Johnson vaccines because they didn't have the other two available in their geographical area. And they're feeling, oh my God, we didn't get the kind of protection that everybody else got. And so here we are, bottom of the heap, especially now that Pfizer's booster is available, which I am a recipient of. I'm very proud of that. I walk around with, I have been boosted on my forehead. And so they're seeking FDA clearance. And there's a couple of other really interesting stats about the vaccine, and that is after 6 months the efficacy really does drop. Pfizer and Moderna, but, and that's why the booster is so important. However, it continues to protect against hospitalizations and deaths.
90% effectiveness still after 6 months.
But against hospitalizations and deaths, not from getting it. Right, and it's really interesting stuff how this works. And the loss of protection is really only against the Delta vaccine. The other variants, the original virus and the variants that are not Delta, it's still in the 90% protection. The various vaccines. Just not against Delta, but it keeps, it's a whole combination of protection. Bottom line, get a booster, get your shot, get a booster, leave me alone. Don't want to talk about you as a stat. Did you see, I forgot which executive from Pfizer it was saying, we have data that says probably we'll need another booster next year. So what? I get pneumonia shots every year, and I get a flu shot every single year. So they just add to that. I don't see it as any big deal in terms of getting a vaccination. So it adds up. Like, I got a booster for tetanus. Every 10 years, you get a tetanus booster. Okay, where's the big deal there? But they said that with that mRNA technology, that they could rejigger the vaccine to specifically address any variants. But I'm not hearing we don't know that they are right now working on redoing it to address the Delta variant. Look where the technology has gone. But shouldn't they be? I mean, they make such a big deal about we can quickly adapt. Yeah, and they are adapting. But it takes a while. You have to do the phase 1, 2, 3 testing. And it's, I know they did it very quickly. It took a year, but it took a year with billions of dollars thrown in the mix. Is it going to take the same? I don't know. Is it going to take as longer? Does the FDA want more testing now because the vaccine is here and there isn't the same rush? Don't know the answer. Okay, we just did 8. We incorporated 8. Let's go to 9. Yeah. Southwest Airlines joining other airlines requiring COVID-19 vaccines for employees. Now they're saying, look, it's not even up to us because the federal government said anybody who does business with the federal government has to do this, and so that's why we have to do it because Southwest is a federal contractor. We have no viable choice but to comply with the mandate. They're taking the easy way out. If you have Delta, you have United that are going right out there and saying on their own, you're going to be vaccinated or at least being tested. I think United, if you don't, no, they said either you're vaccinated or you face termination.
Yep.
That's United. Delta is the one that said you can get vaccinated, you can do weekly testing, and $200 a month health care surcharge on our health plan if you're not vaccinated. So you're doing the testing and you're paying $200 a month.
And I think when American did it, they had 600 employees who said, nope, we're not getting vaccinated.
And they lost their jobs.
Well, no, then by the time that the actual pink slips were going to come out, I think there were only 300 left.
You have to really be dedicated to your position that vaccines are a no-no, that you're prepared to lose your job. Now, nurses, different story. Frontline hospital workers, they get a job anywhere. And there are plenty of hospitals out there that are saying, oh, no, you don't have to be vaccinated because they don't have staff.
Okay, weird that you brought this up. I was just having a conversation with a friend whose best friend is a traveling nurse. She refuses to get a vaccine. So the hospital that she worked at, I think she's in Colorado, said, okay, fine, see you later. She thought, okay, fine, just what you said. There must be a bazillion hospitals out there. There are 35
in the country.
In the country that she's eligible to work at who are not requiring a COVID-19 vaccine for a traveling nurse, according to my friend. I haven't done the
okay, I mean, that's logical. If I were running a facility, I sure as hell would make do. Just throw on extra shifts and run nurses to the ground and not allow a non-vaccinated person to be walking into a COVID ward.
Well, now here's what's funny.
Or a hospital. In a COVID ward, they already have COVID. Don't worry about that.
Her friend said, all right, fine, but do you know how many thousands of us don't want to get vaccinated? So if we all say no, these hospitals that mandate these COVID-19 vaccines, there is this idea that these nurses will basically get these hospitals to a point where they have no choice.
Could be.
But to accept unvaccinated.
All right, so they're going to play chicken.
Maybe.
Who's going to force them to accept unvaccinated?
They would come to a point where they would be so desperate.
Because there'd be so many of them.
They'd be so desperate for workers.
Because there would be so many nurses that are saying no.
That's never going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen
because what's going to happen. You know, the traveling nurse job is very lucrative.
Yeah.
Much more lucrative than just being a regular staff.
Right.
What's going to happen is this is going to drive down their pay. It's going to work against them.
Could be.
Yeah, could.
It could be.
Right.
Also,
because you're going to have all these unvaccinated traveling nurses, and there's going to be this many places that they can work. So now you're actually going to have an abundance of unvaccinated traveling nurses all vying to get positions at 35 hospitals.
Yeah, and then the question also I have is when you talk about the thousands and thousands of nurses out there that refuse to be vaccinated, are there really that many? These are nurses. These are people that care about the health of patients. And are they more committed to, I'm not going to get vaccinated, no one's going to stick a needle in my arm, it's my right, I'm American, etc. How many of those are out there and put that philosophy over what the general perception is of helping patients?
I know.
For example, would they not be smallpox vaccinated? Would they refuse that?
I know 3, including one in my family.
No, that's your crowd.
Wow.
Let's take a break. Jennifer, take it from here.
I don't know that I will. Facebook users are back online after the company's worst outage since 2008. CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost more than $6 billion because of it. President Biden will be in Michigan today to pick his infrastructure plan. He'll explain how the money will be spent as Democrats remain divided. And the largest healthcare provider in New York has handed out 1,400 pink slips. That's how many Northwell workers refused to follow the state's COVID-19 vaccine mandate last week. We're looking at your ride on the 105 with Kfi in the Sky next.
Hey y'all, it's Dean Sharp. Blackouts have become a regular part of life here in California. As disruptive as they are, they're not just an inconvenience. A loss of power to your home can threaten your health or your safety. A loss of power to your business means loss of revenue. And whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, blackouts are the problem. The solution is Duffy Power. Duffy is Southern California's emergency power expert. Not only does Duffy protect private homes, but their stellar reputation comes from keeping Southern California business operations running through emergencies, planned outages, scheduled maintenance, and electric-heavy special events. Duffy is there 24/7, 365. Repairs, emergency rentals, unrivaled commercial maintenance services, all to guarantee the power is there when you need it. Power outages are here to stay, but fortunately, so is Duffy Power. To protect your home or business from the next power outage and all the ones after that, go to DuffyPower.com. That's DuffyPower.com.
Memorial Care Long Beach Medical Center is the only hospital in southern LA and Orange counties with Excelsius GPS, an advanced technology that improves accuracy, precision, and outcomes for spine surgery patients. Learn more at memorialcare.org/spine surgery.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy with highs from the upper 60s at the beaches to the lower 90s inland. This report is brought to you by Memorial Care Long Beach Medical Center. Jeff's taking a look at your ride on the 105.
You betcha. Got to protect yourself at all times there, Jennifer, so just watch yourself down there. Indeed, the drive to LAX. Now, there was a problem reported West 105 at Long Beach Boulevard. It seems to be an everyday affair. Happy to tell you nothing there. It's just slow. You should be able to stay on schedule from the 605 most of the way into the airport. Cultural lane is slightly better, but there's definitely something eastbound still working. It is barely to the shoulder. East 105 past Long Beach Boulevard before you get to 710. That's why it's so slow coming away from Wilmington. Now back to San Fernando Valley, if you were listening much earlier, well, it was quite a problem with South 5 at the 170 split coming out of Pacoima. It's been cleared, so a little slow around the 118. Not too bad. And one thing in Orange County I want to warn you about, getting word now of something in another bad spot in Orange County. It's South 55 around the 5. Something going on there. It's getting kind of slow. This South 55 coming out from the 22. More on that coming up. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Fogg, KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by Audible. This fall, Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy to motivation to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
Sign on the line. GDA True Mortgage is a fair housing lender. NMLS 1626699. The following example is a 30-year term at 2.625% on a loan amount of $300,000 with a 50% LTV. Primary residence only and with a 740 FICO score.
Rates are at all-time lows, but you hear a lot of conflicting information about what that means to you exactly.
The team at True Mortgage wants to show you how affordable a true loan can actually be and how much it might cost you each month.
If you've got a $300,000 loan and you're paying a dime more than $1,250 a month, you must call True Mortgage now at 833-66-FASTER or go to truenow.com to see what they can do to make your monthly payment more affordable.
$1,250 per month on a $300,000 loan. That's true, and they can help you get into a super affordable monthly payment and help you immediately.
Have a $400,000 loan, merely add another $400 per month, and so on. It is simple math and an even easier payment, but as Chairman Powell said, rates will go up, so call today.
True Mortgage, 833-66-FASTER or truenow.com. That's 833-66-FASTER or dial pound 250 and use the keywords True Mortgage.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamava Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at Yamava.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, it's Dean Sharp. If you've decided to sell your house, I know it is tempting to just get it listed as is or even take one of those cash-out deals. But why sell yourself short when making just the right upgrades will maximize its sale value? You mean like flipping our own home, Dean? We don't have the expertise or the cash for that. I know, but my friends at Revive do. Revive knows exactly what to change, what to spend, and where to spend it. They'll manage everything for you and front all the costs. Yes, Revive fronts the cost. They get paid back from escrow, but the profit gained is all yours. How much profit? The average client makes over 200% profit on what Revive invests on their behalf. It's a no-brainer. Reach out to iloverevive.com today and see if your home qualifies. To make the most from the sale of your home, go to iloverevive.com. That's iloverevive.com.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contract. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Non-licensed in all states, including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a cash-out refi with an interest rate and APR in the twos? At Cash Call Mortgage, our customers are getting the cash they need from their home's equity and getting a low interest rate and APR in the twos. Imagine refinancing your mortgage to a rate and APR in the twos and taking cash out for the things in life you need. At Cash Call Mortgage, we'll even pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. Home values have soared and interest rates are at all-time lows, but the clock is ticking on how long these rates and APRs will stay this low. Imagine a mortgage rate in the twos and some extra cash in your pocket. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861.
I picked up a hitchhiker and nothing happened. Circa 1997, I was going out to Stinson and I had a pickup truck and there was a hitchhiker and I said, you can get in the back. And the guy jumped in the back and dropped him off.
And when you got to the beach, he was gone.
Jerry and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
Right?
Well, I don't know. He took off. I didn't get killed.
You didn't?
I didn't get killed.
On KFI.
And we're back. Handle Morning Crew as we finish Handle on the News on this Tuesday morning, October the 5th. Jennifer Jones Lee, Wayne, and me. Jen, that's you. Strike talk?
We're not on. Sorry.
Story 10.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay.
Hollywood crews have voted in, so they want to strike. This is what they're saying. This is the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees. They're saying we will strike if there is no contract agreement with the union.
Yeah.
So they're not. That doesn't mean a strike is imminent.
Yeah, this is going to happen.
Well,
the motion picture.
Well, or this compels the other side to give it.
Well,
but it's really acrimonious between the motion picture consortium of streaming services, as gaming services, etc., as well as the people under IATSE is not just theatrical stage employees. It's mainly in the movie and television industry. Makeup artists, for example, which is why our makeup artists are no longer working here. They just won't put up on makeup in the morning because they're all going on strike.
Would this give them leverage, though, in bargaining? If they said 99% of our members voted, you better come to the table with something.
We'll see. I mean, you never know which way it goes. And one of the things about this union, it's 128 years old. It's never gone on strike. So it has a reputation of being fairly easy to deal with. And the Motion Picture Alliance, I think that's what it is, which represents all the producers across the board, TV and movies. And I think now the streaming services are on there too, Netflix and all that.
This will goose it because listen, they're still crawling out of the pandemic hole. So I don't think the producers want another shutdown of production.
Yeah, I wondered if the studios would start putting pressure on the union, like, hey, we barely made it out of this alive.
Could be.
Don't you dare stop this
We'll see what
production
happens. Strike vote, and we're talking about 99% voted for authorizing the strike.
And 90%
voted turnout, right, which is impossible. I've never heard of that.
So they're very much in lockstep. Oh, well, we know why Facebook was down yesterday, and Instagram, and WhatsApp. It's just that old configuration changes on the backbone routers to coordinate their network traffic.
There you go. There you go.
That's what it was, everybody.
I'm going to talk.
You knew that.
I knew that. I'm going to talk more about that at 7:30. The influence of Facebook. That's the scary part. As a result, what the fallout
People lost their minds.
Yeah, and then on Tech Tuesday with Rich DeMuro coming up at 8 o'clock, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that. The technical aspect.
How did it happen? My favorite industry analyst said, oh, it's like Facebook locked its keys in its car.
Okay.
I'm like, that's a
pretty
great
close.
way to say it. All right, Governor Newsom has signed the Momnibus bill that is aimed to reduce deaths among black moms. He talked about this a couple of weeks ago, I think, and that black women in California are more likely to die within a year of pregnancy than women of other races. And so the governor signed this new law that creates a committee within the Department of Public Health to look over the maternal deaths reported throughout the state and look at family members and doctors so that they can kind of come up with something that would figure out why is it that these black moms are dying at higher rates.
You think about this. We do story after story every day here about what's wrong with society. It's not that we're not optimists, but all the negative aspects about society, deaths and economics, who gets lower pay, who has live in worse areas, socially disadvantaged, and it's always African Americans at the bottom of the heap. You notice that in America? I mean, across the board. I mean, virtually every field, profession, financial institution, work environment, the black African Americans are at the bottom. And obviously something is dreadfully wrong. So they're trying to pass a law. They're going to pass a law saying there's no more difference between African American and white people. It's against the law to be an African American or a white person. And that's what's going to do it. No differences, and so everybody's the same. What else are you going to do? I mean, it's crazy, these stats, when you think about the disparity. And I don't know if it's the Black Lives Movement that has really kicked us into thinking about this, and it may be, but the numbers are staggeringly horrible when you think about that.
And it was staggeringly horrible for a Tesla employee who sued, saying he was subject to vicious racial harassment, including the N-word being thrown around all the time and swastikas left. And a jury has just awarded him $137 million.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the jury is really pissed off at Tesla. So now here comes the question on the other side. How much discrimination and harassment would you take for $137 million? I would take lots and lots of it, personally, for that much money. Also, I want to make a point that we talk about $137 million. He's not going to get $137 million. What Tesla's going to do, or any defendant, go right into court, ask for what's called a remitter, and the court will lower that. I mean, really.
Because $130 million of that is punitive damage.
Yeah, and that can be a little outrageous. I mean, it's one of those where, yes, the plaintiff deserves money, there's no question about it, and should get money, but when you're talking about $137 million, that may be a little outrageous. Although, the argument is on the other side, and that is punitive damage are meant to punish. For a company like Tesla, what are you going to do? $5,000? Even $50 million is basically just couch change. So there are two arguments, but usually the judges go, that's a little bit too much. We're going to bring it down. I wouldn't be surprised if it was not brought down to $2, $3, $4 million in punitive damages.
Will they consider at that stage, when like an appeals judge or whatever is looking at this, will they consider if there was a pattern?
I think so.
The company?
Yeah, because expensive. Yeah.
Because in May, Tesla was ordered to pay $1 million to another former worker. That was through arbitration.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that must have been brought up at trial, or the judge said, no, it's too prejudicial. It's not probative. It's more prejudicial, although I don't know how that couldn't be probative. And it's, we'll see. And by the way, this is not the appeals court that reduces the award. It's the trial judge. It's the trial judge, the motion for remitter. So I'd like to find out how much of this gentleman is going to get. Owen Diaz. Tell you one thing, Owen Diaz has a lot of family that he never even knew he had coming out of the woodwork. I guarantee you that one.
Oh, Cousin Owen, you mean?
Yes. Right. Hey, Cousin Owen. Hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you since we were kids. All right, now we're going to talk about the Orange County oil spill, some problems with the company. And there's a long history of issues. And Todd Spitzer, Orange County DA, going to join us, because I want to ask about possible criminality here under these circumstances, because it's just every one of these, every time this happens, I mean, just what happens in the, not just the backlash, but the attack on the environment is so extraordinary. Something's got to be done, obviously. We'll be right back. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
We're not here to make up your mind. We're here to give you the latest.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Let's start with a hard talk. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. So Handel and Todd Spitzer, the Orange County District Attorney, are going to get into the nuts and bolts of the criminal side. But in the meantime, let's just go with what we know now. Tar balls and tar patties have started to appear on beaches in Orange County.
Coast Guard Captain Rebecca Orr says crews are working on shore to clean up the sand.
We know that there is oil ranging from Huntington Beach, and now we know as far down as Laguna, and likely continuing to move in a southerly direction based on the wind and the weather and the current.
Orr says at least 14 boats are working around the clock to clean up the spill. The company that owns the pipeline says the break in the line could have been from a structural default or a ship's anchor hitting it. The company says about 127,000 gallons may have spilled out, enough for 3,111 barrels. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
The Coast Guard says as of yesterday afternoon, 14 boats had recovered 4,158 gallons of oil from the ocean. Wildlife crews are on the lookout for animals that have been hurt because of the spill.
4 birds have been recovered and 1 pelican has died. Dr. Michael Sicardi with the Oil Wildlife Care Network says birds are more susceptible to the effects of oil than animals such as dolphins or seals.
They use their feathers almost like a dry suit to keep themselves warm in the marine environment. If they get oiled, their first response is to get warm as quickly as possible. That's why they usually come ashore quickly so they can try to stay warm.
Sicardi says dolphins can have problems if they breathe fumes in and seals if they ingest the oil. In Huntington Beach, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
News is brought to you by Rooter Hero. 5 LA County employees are suing the county over the vaccine mandate. The lawsuit alleges the directive is unconstitutional because it exceeds the county's power under the Emergency Services Act. In August, the LA County Board of Supervisors made an official policy requiring the county's 110,000 employees to provide proof of vaccination by Friday. There are exemptions for medical or religious reasons. The suit says thousands of employees have not complied. California is among the top 5 states that accept the most Afghan refugees. The other states include Texas, New York, Michigan, and Arizona. The State Department says it works with private organizations to help vet the needs of the refugees and tries to find the state that best suits those needs. Officials say they also look at a community's infrastructure, including health providers, schools, and housing. The Justice Department says it's going to start addressing threats of violence against public school employees. ABC's Andy Field says federal officials have reported an increase in threats against school board members and teachers across the country.
U.S. Justice Department saying those threats to public servants are illegal and threaten American core values. Justice asking the FBI to work with local police to investigate and prosecute those suggesting violence.
The National School Boards Association said there were more than 20 cases of harassment and intimidation against school staff last week. And Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is setting up a vote for tomorrow to advance a bill to suspend the federal debt limit.
We aren't asking Republicans to support it when it comes time for a vote. We only ask that they get out of the way. As Democrats passed it on our own, just as the majority party did in the early 2000s.
If the debt limit is not raised by October 18th, the U.S. will default on its debt for the first time ever. Watching your drive on the 6th.
You bet there. Well, as a matter of fact, we were watching California Highway Patrol, Freeway Service, Joel's team up. There was a problem westbound, right underneath the Paramount Bridge. I don't remember years ago we had that tanker fire over the bridge, but that's where it was. And we watched it clear it. It was good work by all, just to stall in the middle lane. So, unfortunately, it headed to a pretty slow morning drive now. Still slow. It's coming through the city of Industry, but from the 605 up to that hill of Paramount, it's still kind of slow. But mind you, at least all lanes are open. Now, as it hits you, we've just followed a bumpy ride, getting windy out here. At the west end, San Bernardino for at least from the 605 over to the 710. We're passing over it right now. This section looking pretty good. Metro Express lanes are looking real good. Everybody's kind of slow, but at least moving along. A problem continues now going through Orange, South 55, a little bit south of the 5. Don't forget about Carson Avenue if you're running real late. But it's getting slower and slower now, approaching that South 5 on the South 55 itself. Northbound, at least that's looking good. But look at the always busy 710 freeway coming up. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, superlawyer.com. Jeff Law, KFI in the sky.
The Chargers held the Las Vegas Raiders to 213 total yards, while LA quarterback Justin Herbert went 25 for 38, 222 yards and 3 touchdowns. The final score, Bolts 28, Raiders 14, and defensive end Joey Bosa stealing the headlines with a post-game rant after he was penalized for protesting a missed holding call against the Raiders.
I didn't even know they called the penalty on me because I was fuming, but refs said blind. Simple. I'm sorry, but you're blind. Open your eyes and do your job. It's so bad. Unbelievable.
I'm Wayne Nesbitt, KFI Sports. If you're looking to get out of your house, doesn't matter for whatever reason, you're moving, you're downsizing, you have financial issues, and you need the money, maybe you inherited a piece of property and have no idea what to do with it. Well, what's the default? You get a real estate agent. That's what everybody does, who lists the property for 6%, I might add. And then there's cleaning and painting and repairing and people walking through and you can't be there. And all the tchotchkes you have on every surface of your house, those that you put away in the closet. Imagine none of that happens. No buyer, no appraisal, no buyer walking through your house, no commission, and you get paid in cash and you're fast. That's directbuyers.com. That's the company I'm talking about. Directbuyers.com. Matt and Janet, the owners, brother and sister, we spent hours talking about their business model, and I tell you why I like them so much. First of all, they give you an honest